Yo, what is up, everyone? I hope you're doing well. If you don't know me, my name is Ishaan, and welcome to the video. Today, we are going to talk about my goals for the second semester of my PhD program in Planetary Sciences, which is right around the fucking corner, yo. It is January 5th today, which means that I actually start my graduate student work tomorrow, but for this week it's just research work because classes actually start next week. So I'm currently going to be taking 2.5 courses this semester, and I'll explain all that in a quick minute. Some context, this video is part of a long-term series that I'm thinking of where I'm like, I really want to document my PhD journey from starting to the end. So when I graduate, I can look back and be like, yo, it was a crazy adventure. Whoa, little bubble came out. But yeah, thanks for joining into the journey if you're here. And let's just jump right into it. Oh, before, real quick, this is usually how my videos are gonna go. I am not someone who has the time to edit my videos to be hyper edited with visuals, graphics, and all those things. And to be honest, I don't want my videos to be like that either. I genuinely just want this to be a conversation between me and you and my future self. It's one of my goals with these reflection videos to, well, of course, reflect on my personal things that are going on in life in regards to the PhD program, but then also, like I said, document for my future self so I can look back and just be proud of the journey that I've gone through. And in this process, hopefully you can grab some insights and perhaps some advice that might end up working really well for you and you can implement it in your life, whether you're in high school, grad school, college, or I don't know, doing a master's program, PhD, whatever it is. Hopefully you can implement some of the learnings that I'm getting out of the program also throughout my experience and implement it to make your life better. With that said, let's head into my goals for the second semester. So real quick about the program, Planetary Sciences, the average length at Purdue is about 4 5 years or so. I think average they say 5, but like I've heard of folks graduating in 4 4.5 years. So it's not unusual if you do want to finish at a faster pace. It just means you have to take your quals and prelims, which are two of the requirement exams that you have to take to be a PhD graduate, and then also finish up your classes and credits and all those things. So for coursework, you're not technically bound to take all of your courses in the 2 years. That's one of the unique things about Purdue, actually, is you can continue to take courses up until your last year. That was one of the selling points that got me lured into Purdue, if I'm being honest, because I love learning, but at the same time now I'm like, but if that shouldn't be like a deciding factor. I'm just saying, like, that was one thing that did attract me towards Purdue when I was thinking about grad schools and location, and not location, sorry, just which grad school I want to go to. If you do want to know more about this journey, actually, let me know in the comments below, and I'll have to retroactively make some videos, because even though I recorded some snippets of how I was feeling in the moments of application time, getting the acceptances and the rejections and deciding and whatnot, I regret that I didn't record videos. I had recorded very small clips, but I never really put them together. So they're somewhere on my camera or one of the memory cards. But that's why these videos are going to be really important for me down the line. So you're not bound to take your courses in just 2 years, but I think ideally, since PhD programs are focused on research, ideally in your later years, like, that's what you'd want to focus on. And also, I'm just gonna say, like, it's really fucking annoying to take classes while you're doing research. Like, I wish I could just focus on research, but I also see the value in taking classes early on, which I'll talk a little bit more about now. So I'm currently going to be taking 2.5 courses, which is going to include planetary habitability and space instrumentation. And the half course is a colloquium course, which basically means that every Thursday, that is just a designated schedule, there's a speaker that comes in from like somewhere outside of the university, whether that be, local, national, or international even sometimes. And they just give a talk on their research. So it can vary from geology, just uh, anything related to Earth, atmospheric, or planetary sciences can be a part of that colloquium. And we're at Purdue in the program, you're required to take 2 semesters of it. So I already took 1 semester last sem, last fall, and then I'm gonna take it now. But it's only like a 1 credit course, I think, so it doesn't count really that much. But since it's a requirement, you gotta take it. And honestly, it's pretty helpful because it gives you a really good idea of topics and things that you like and you might want to continue exploring versus things that you're kind of just like, yeah, I really hope I don't have to hear about this shit ever again. And it's really good to just have that opportunity to listen from various scientists and get like an integrated knowledge base. And this is something that I also learned through my experience in industry. Before grad school, I was working in healthcare IT, and just having a diverse knowledge base, just having a base of diverse knowledge, just even knowing a little bit about the different aspects or different areas of research can be extremely helpful. Because let's say you saw someone use a tool in computing something for geographical reasons, coming up with something about the earth, but then you're thinking like, oh, what if I take this tool and modify it this way so I can fit it into something that I can apply to somewhere outside of earth. And that's usually my thought process with going into colloquium, where I'm like, okay, I don't really give a fuck if I don't give a fuck if the research is not interesting to me. I have to figure out, okay, what it is that I can get out of this seminar, whether that be something about academia or whether that be something about personal life. Like, I think that's a really just a great mindset to have overall in life, is to just derive learnings from every experience, regardless of whether it's a good experience or a bad experience. And that's really my aim, that's my goal with colloquium and the other 2 classes as well. Planetary habitability, I haven't heard like too much about the course, to be honest. I don't know what to expect. I think it's supposed to be a discussion based course where we read papers on different topics and present them, talk about them. So let's see. But I'm curious to learn more about what factors are crucial in determining whether a planet is going to be habitable or not, which is very applicable for early Earth, but also applicable for exoplanets research and researching other planets and moons in our solar system as well. So planetary habitability, I'm really excited for. Then space instrumentation is a relatively, I'd say, a different course than what my background is in. I don't have technically an engineering background, though I do have the skills that it would take to be and study for one. And I'm really hoping from this class, space instrumentation, I just better understand how certain instruments for space missions are developed. Like, what's the process really like? What does the timeline look like? Who gets to make the decisions? And see if it's something that's up my alley. Because in the past, my goal has been to work with space exploration missions, like in the future. And a big integral part of that is in the instrumentation that's going to be on board. So I hope this class gives me a better insight as to what that entirety of process, from like idea to build to testing to actually being on board, really looks like, and why certain instruments are built a certain way, how much customizations are needed for each space exploration mission. And it's going to give me a really strong idea of whether I want to be involved in the instrumentation side of space exploration missions in the future. If you're thinking about classes, I think a really good way to consider what classes you want to take and solidify on them is by asking yourself the questions of, what am I really getting out of this class? Or like, what do I hope to get out of this class? Because that's going to give you your why, your reasonings as to why you're taking that class, which is just, it's good reflection. Otherwise, you're gonna be stuck in a class that you don't like, you don't enjoy, and you're just gonna dread your time. And that's not what the PhD program is about. Like, you shouldn't be worried about taking a class just for the sake of a requirement. Like, this is not undergrad anymore. And in fact, I have such a great first-hand experience of this, because I ended up dropping a class during my first semester of my PhD program, which is like very unusual for someone like me. Like, in undergrad, I was like, I don't give a fuck how hard the class is, or if I don't like it. If I'm in it because of a certain reason and I need to take it, I'm gonna get that shit done, no excuses. And you can take that kind of mindset and approach for grad school as well if you really want. But the goal in grad school is to learn the things that you want to learn, so you can become a better scientist, a better researcher, and for me, a better person as well. So that's on classes. That was already a long spiel. And I have like 5 more goals to go over. The second goal is to submit my manuscript for my summer project from 2024. I have been going back and forth with my advisor on the manuscript that we're hoping to submit soon, fingers crossed, and I'm supposed to be hearing some feedback from him somewhere in the next couple of days or a few days, hopefully. And yeah, fingers crossed. I'm really want to work on it and prioritize it so I can get it done and submit it. That would be very exciting. But so that's a great goal to shoot for. The next goal is I'm actually currently working. So this is actually the previous project that I just mentioned for the manuscript. That was before my PhD, so technically it doesn't even count for my PhD. So maybe perhaps that's a different goal then. It shouldn't fall under my PhD SEM goals, but it does. So apart from that, for my PhD program itself, I'm currently working on 2 projects. One of them is doing some thermochemical modeling. I can talk more about what the actual projects are in a different video. Let me know if you want to see that in the comments below. But I am really hoping to make significant progress on my Cantera project and hopefully start prepping a manuscript for it as well. So like not submission perhaps in the second semester alone, but I think that goal is for the end of summer. But at least start prepping the manuscript, start writing like major materials, producing major figures and such. The next goal I have is learning, which is the second part, or I guess you can say it's a different type of project, but also could be a part of this one, is learning the ins and outs of neural networks. Why? Because I'm like deeply fascinated with AI, and in the past, like when I was younger, I was like, oh, I don't want to do computer science, I don't want to do coding, all that shit. Now I'm like, I can't believe I thought that way. I was just avoiding hard work for no reason at that particular time. Though I was working hard for other things, so it made sense that I was like, I don't want to give time to it. But right now, with especially like the recent uptick and so many different AIs that are like coming out, and having used so much of AI recently, just I want to know more and learn more so I can figure out how we can integrate it into research work, or specifically my kind of research work, to better understand other planets and moons, because I think it can be a very valuable tool and make certain processes much faster. But I do need to know how it works, and that would be the foundation for figuring out how we can apply it in my research. So the goal is to learn the ins and outs of neural networks and actually set one up to do something that's similar to what my Cantera project is doing without AI, and then kind of comparing the results of doing similar calculations with chemistry calculations with AI versus non-AI. And then also there is this lab paper that my PhD advisor has set up for us to work on. I'm not gonna get into too many details of it, because to be honest, I'm not the I hope I don't have to get too involved in this one, because it's heavy on the mass spec and instrumentation things, and I'm kind of just like, in my head I'm already like, damn, like I know for a fact we're gonna have to troubleshoot and run so many samples, like it's gonna be crazy. But that's part of the plan. That's part of the plan. So I trust the process, and I'll make sure that I'm dedicating time to it too, and it is part of my goals. The next thing is science outreach, which I've been working on with Purdue's Superheroes of Science to make series of videos that are just digestible facts about space sciences and stuff, and it's just such a good way for me to brainstorm how to communicate science effectively and then actually doing it in front of camera. It's just great practice. I enjoy the process of coming up with the videos, recording the videos, but I hate editing the videos, which is exactly why I'm collaborating with Purdue Superheroes of Science, and they edit the videos, which look amazing, and I couldn't be more grateful. I hope to continue to streamline that process and collaboration more and more so we can, keep creating better content and better videos that actually reach a massive audience, but also is able to communicate what planetary science and space sciences is really all about. Oh, also, I guess with science outreach, you can fit this scientist channel in there as well with my weekly YouTube videos. Like my goal is to stick to these reflection videos once a week. So this week we're talking about goals. The, or sorry, today we're talking about goals. This week I'll be working on research things, and hopefully on the weekend I'll be able to reflect on some of my learning, some of the downfalls, and that's really gonna be the theme for the semester, where I sit down on Sundays, I reflect, I record a video, and that's part of the documentation of the journey and get some learnings out of it. And then the last thing is, this is not a goal, but I just want to mention it as an update. Bro, last semester I dedicated maybe like 2.5 months, so much time to filling out 3 different fellowship applications, which included NSF, GRFP, or GFRP? No, GRFP, Graduate Research Funding, whatever. NSF, GRFP, PD Soros, and Hertz Foundation fellowships. These 3 things took so much of my time, bro, that I couldn't dedicate enough time to some of my other projects, and honestly, it I chose to do it, and I don't regret any of it, honestly, because it was such a great reflection process, and it made me realize that I need to be really mindful of what I say yes to in grad school, because my time is limited and very precious and very valuable. One of my biggest learnings, and this is something I spoke about in the previous video that I posted, which was about all my learnings from the first semester, so go ahead and check that one out if you haven't already. And with these fellowships, I found out about Hertz right away in like 2 or 3 weeks that I didn't get selected, and Hertz was like the best one to, or like the one that I really like wanted to go for. But I also realized and trust that it just since I didn't get to the interview part, it just wasn't something that was meant for me, and I'll let time reveal how and why. I don't. I've gone through so many rejections and roadblocks throughout my life ever since I immigrated to the US that honestly, it genuinely doesn't. It sounds crazy to me too, but it doesn't phase me anymore at all. Like, it took me like a couple of days to process it, and I told my advisor right away too. But yeah, I don't really feel any bad or negative emotions towards it. I'm just like, yeah, I put in a lot of work for it. I got a lot out of it. I got the rewards even through the reflection process and writing the statements. Like, bro, it gave me so much clarity on what my journey has been like, where I want to be in the next few years, and I realized that some of the things that I actually wrote down in the application, I don't even resonate with the future goals part for some of it. And I'm like, damn, like I really thought that was what I wanted to do, but now that I've written it out and thought about it for a couple months after, I'm kind of just like, yeah, no, that's not the life I want to live. So even in that sense, whenever you get rejections or failures, like don't think about what the outcome was, but think about the effort that you put in, and first whether that was your best effort or not, because that's really a big win if it was. And it was for me, dude. I put in so much time and effort into it. I still remember. You can probably go back. Oh, not on this channel, shit. on my other channel, Spiritualish, I posted some of my reflections from that time, and it was rough. It was rough. Just because of the time commitment that was required to pull these off. Because 3 fellowships was not a joke, yo. But PD Soros, I find out if I get the interview on January 15th. So in a few days or so, I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm also not stressed because, again, whether I get it or not, I already put in my best foot forward. There's not really anything for me to worry about. And even if I don't get it, like, I'm genuinely not worried. I'm not worried. But partially, I guess it's also because I'm not someone who's really fiending for money or status or anything like that. I generally just applied for the reflection process. I was like, I'm gonna get so much out of it, and I did. And I thought to myself, it would be an added bonus if I get some more money. But even now, I'm on a research assistantship from Purdue, which pays me a little bit more than some of the other grad students, and I'm grateful for that already. So the next 2 years or next year and a half, I don't really have to TA for funding purposes, but after then I'll have to, unless I score one of these fellowships. Oh, NSF, then the third one I find out sometime in March or April, bro. I don't even fucking remember. So those are things that I'm looking forward to knowing, but perhaps not necessarily goals. Anyways, we're, oh my god, 21 minutes into the video. Just straight talking. But yeah, those are my goals. If you are in, if you're in school, high school, college, master's, PhD program, I don't know, other kinds of schools as well, let me know what your goals are for the semester ahead in the comments below, and I will probably just wrap it up here. Yeah, if you have any questions for me, let me know, and yeah, I'll catch you all in the next week's video.